Hi you guys, my name is Tyler Cassidy with One Made Up Mama. I'm coming to you from my bathroom right now. Not the cutest place to film, but this has been a long time in the making video here. I've been wanting to do a tutorial forever. It is the Bedhead Wave Artist. This thing costs like $25 at Target, maybe 27 or something like that. I am obsessed with it. I get so many compliments when I do my hair this way, but I have learned that there's little tips and tricks that really make a big difference in the way that you're styling. So I wanted to do those to show you exactly how it's done, because over the past few months, this has been like my go-to gift for friends and family. And I don't know, I just find so much value in it, and I hope that you will too. So I have that waver, and I also have my straightener here in front of me. And then I have some dry shampoo, which is optional, and my wristband, which ponytail, whatever. So for me, this is day 2 hair, so I am gonna use dry shampoo. Again, this is optional, but what I like to do is just start in the underside here, and I'm using Not Your Mother's Clean Freak. And just do a little bit at a time here. So the reason I'm showing you this is because this is like the fastest hairstyle that I have been doing lately that actually feels legit. Like, it doesn't feel like I look like a mess when I'm done. I feel like I look somewhat put together, but in an effortless kind of way. So it's like the perfect combination. Okay, next thing you're gonna do, feeling to make sure my hair is combed because I did not comb it, is you're gonna take your straightener and you are going to straighten your ends. So I'm gonna split my hair and I'm gonna straighten my hair as I go. So I went about halfway, like where my ears are, and just put that up in a pony, and I am just straightening my ends. Oh, it's not on, guys. Ah! But this is super important, because if you don't straighten your ends, it doesn't look finished. It almost looks like messier than you're wanting, and it just kind of looks funny. Like, you can't put your finger on it, but you know something's wrong. So make sure that you straighten your ends. That is one of the biggest things that I can share from this tutorial. But between that and 2 other things are gonna be your secret trick. So I'll tell you when I get to those as well. But now that this is hot again, let me go. So just doing the ends, don't have to go all the way up here. I like to always do like my ear hairs, whatever those are called, just to get them up out of my face. Can't stand them. And I have the Babyless Pro Titanium straightener. It doesn't look like it's working very well because I turned it off and had to turn it back on, but it is great. I got it actually to curl my hair. It had great reviews for curling, and I was like, ooh, but I love it just as a straightener. Okay, now the bottom you really don't have to worry about too much. I have it on, turning it to open. So what I like to do is make my wave. So I'll just explain it this way. I put the flat portion up, okay? So what that does is it makes your wave go out first, which kind of like gives you some lift to your hair. So if I were to go this way, it would be the opposite, and I wouldn't get as much volume. So I'm just gonna clamp and kind of leave those straight ends out like that. And honestly, like, if you want just a little bit of wave in your hair but not a whole lot going on, this is like the best way to get away with it. Like, if you wake up with wavy hair but it's just like not presentable, like you still need a little bit more, I love this tool for that. So it just adds a little bit of oomph to make it look like it was intentional, but it still looks good. I always like to do a little bit down here. Make sure you get your back pieces so you don't look like you forgot the back of your head. But again, notice how I'm leaving these straight. if these are not straight, it kind of can look uneven and funky. So next layer. So now I kind of do like the crown and keep that separate. And again, I'm just gonna straighten the ends. They don't have to be like perfectly crisp, but you do want them to just look clean. Switch back, make sure my flat side is up. Pulling away from my hair as I do it. Line up your lines so you know that you're waving it properly. The good thing about waves though is like if you mess up with where it goes, it doesn't really look bad. Waves don't really have a rhyme or reason. So you can make them match or you can make them messy. I've noticed if I hold it vertically, they kind of come out funky too. So make sure you're holding it horizontally like this. See how that lifted that root there? That's what we're talking about. That's what we want. That's where the magic happens. And if you feel like there's too straight of a spot, just clamp it down. Good to go. All right, this is the second most important step. So it depends on how you are wanting to part your hair. If you're wanting to part it in the middle, what you want to do is take it section by section, like this, and just straighten it all the way down forward and once more on the ends. If you are wanting to part it on the side, you don't necessarily have to do this, but I do find that this gives so much volume and it really doesn't take that long. So I'm just taking a little section at a time, straightening it, and then pulling it forward so that it cools while it's pulled forward. This is where we really want that volume. So we want to do this part for sure. Can't see. Okay. And then you can just part your hair in the center. See how much more volume you get when you do that? I never liked a center part. For anyone who's wanting to be hip, I actually found this out a few years ago. I hated my center part. Couldn't stand it until I started doing this, and it just gives you a little bit of lift here so that it's way more tolerable. So if you're wanting to try it, this is how you can do it. I like to kind of play around between the two, but sometimes I'll start off this way and then like the next day with my waves, I'll flip it over and do a side part. And that's kind of fun too because this hair will last you for a while, the style will. Okay, so again, flat part up. Now, second most important thing, third most important thing. The second was straightening down. Third most important thing, I don't want to go all the way to my root, okay? I want to come about like this far out, and I'm going to look at this here. That's what we're wanting to focus on. So you want it to kind of pull away. You don't want to kink there. So straighten it out with the barrel so you're pulling away from your hair, so that you don't have an obvious bump on your top layer. So I'm pulling away so that it looks lined up with my barrel. And if you feel like you're like in this awkward zone, kind of like I just was, where you're really close to the end and you're like, do I want to wave that? You can always wave it and then keep your straightener warm in front of you. And you can just straighten it if you feel like it's a little too far. I'm literally doing this and then I'm about to go work out. But that's okay. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I felt like this was a really good opportunity. I had a good amount of time here. So since this one's lower, I don't need to worry so much about my root, but you can see. So this doesn't look as unnatural when you pull it away, but you really want to make sure you get these back pieces so you get the volume there. So if you're in a rush, you can see how fast I'm clamping. Like I am not holding it down very long. I am just clamping, waiting a second, and then clamping again. So as far as products I have in my hair right now, I always use Chi Silk Infusion a little bit when I get out of the shower, and I let that dry into my hair. So I have that. That's what I use as my heat protectant. Other than that, I use It's a 10 leave-in conditioner sometimes, but it is spotty when I use it, so I don't feel like that really affects your texture or anything. Okay, so you can see how it looks now. This side definitely is a little bit straighter, so I'm just gonna take my straightener, clean up the ends over here, and then you can see part down the center. Or we can flip it. It still looks good. Part it down the side. Messy, but yet you have something going on. And like, you can play with it on day 2. If you want to add wave lower, you can. If you want to make some wave more prominent, you can do that. And you can hairspray. I honestly go back and forth between if I want to hairspray. And mine normally lasts even when I don't. So that is that. It's been 12 minutes. Honestly, it takes even less time when you do it without talking. But now you know how I style my hair. If you guys have any questions, just pop them down in the comments. I'll take care of you. I can put a link as well. I got mine at Target. I know they're on Amazon. I want to say Walmart too, but they're so cheap. So it's an awesome tool to have. And yeah, if you have any questions or if you have tips, I'd love to know. You can always be better, so share those with me also. Take care, guys.